In April 2026, I found myself in Tokyo, Japan with one goal in mind: visiting the 100% Doraemon exhibit. As a longtime Doraemon fan, this was something I had been looking forward to ever since I learned it was coming to Tokyo. I had heard about a similar exhibition that had been held in Hong Kong a few years earlier, so when I discovered Tokyo was getting its own version, I knew I had to see it for myself. The first exhibit was an outdoor display featuring dozens of Doraemon statues, along with several of the series' most recognizable characters, including Nobita and Shizuka. What immediately stood out was the sheer variety. There weren't just a few versions of Doraemon. There were seemingly endless variations inspired by different movies, TV specials, manga stories, and adventures from throughout the franchise's long history. As I walked through the exhibit, I kept spotting designs I recognized from childhood and others that were completely new to me. Everywhere I looked, visitors were taking photos with the nearly life-size statues and trying to find their favorite version of Doraemon. Out of all three exhibits, this outdoor display ended up being my favorite. There was just something special about seeing so many different versions of a character I grew up with gathered together in one place. After spending some time exploring the outdoor exhibit, I made my way over to Tokyo Dream Park, where the remaining two exhibits were located. Getting tickets turned out to be more challenging than I expected. As a foreign visitor, I quickly discovered that tourists couldn't just purchase tickets online. After searching through websites and forums, I learned that the only way to get tickets was in person. There was one catch though. Before heading over, you had to check the official website to see if any time slots were still available that day. If a particular time had already sold out online, there was no way to purchase a ticket for that slot once you arrived. If you're planning a visit, tickets are sold inside Tokyo Dream Park on the second floor. You'll need to take the escalator up where you'll find the ticket machines. I was able to find a day with openings available. To improve my chances, I arrived before the venue opened, secured my tickets, selected my time slot, and then returned when it was time to enter. With my ticket in hand, I headed up to the 7th floor and entered X Studio 7, home of the 100% Doraemon Manga World exhibition. This exhibit focused on the history of Doraemon through the manga. Inside were large displays featuring artwork from various manga volumes, oversized reproductions of covers and pages, and numerous Doraemon statues spread throughout the exhibition space. For longtime fans, it was fascinating to see just how much material had been created over the years. Doraemon has been around for generations, and this exhibit did a great job showcasing the incredible amount of artwork that has helped make the character such an icon in Japan and around the world. One of my favorite parts was seeing the framed original artwork on display. Looking at the drawings up close gave me a greater understanding for the amount of detail and creativity that went into creating the series. As I continued through the exhibit, I found myself stopping frequently to look more closely at the artwork. Some displays highlighted memorable scenes from the manga, while others focused on the evolution of the characters and the different stories that have been told throughout the years. The exhibit also included several small theater areas where visitors could sit down and watch episodes from the television series, as well as clips from some of the movies. Even if you've watched the anime before, seeing everything presented together in one exhibit made for a unique experience and offered a deeper look into the history of the franchise. After finishing the Manga World exhibition, visitors exit directly into the gift shop. This wasn't your typical museum gift shop. There were t-shirts, plushies, trading cards, manga volumes, keychains, and countless other Doraemon-themed souvenirs. No matter where you looked, there was something tempting to buy. Needless to say, I didn't leave empty-handed. Up next was the final exhibit, the Dream Terrace, also known as Fantasy Park, located on the 6th floor. Compared to the previous exhibits, this one was much smaller and more straightforward. It featured several Doraemon-themed displays, additional statues, and a few photo opportunities scattered throughout the space. The most popular attraction was a display featuring Doraemon with Mount Fuji in the background. Throughout the day, visitors lined up to take photos in front of it, making it one of the busiest spots in the exhibit. While it wasn't as extensive as the outdoor exhibit or the Manga World exhibition, it provided a nice final stop before wrapping up the experience. As I left the final exhibit, I discovered one last surprise. Instead of taking the elevators back down, visitors can walk through the backside of the Tokyo Dream Park and make their way down to the lower levels on foot. Along the route are even more Doraemon displays and statues, giving fans one final chance to enjoy the character before leaving. If you're a fan of Doraemon and you happen to be in Tokyo, the exhibit runs until September 30th of 2026. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you'd like to follow along on future travel, tech, and hobby adventures, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.